Welcome to the engineering technology class for December the 15th. I have looked over the submissions that you guys made for your CAD assignments, and I got to tell you guys, I am blown away. Some of the stuff that you submitted is just so cool. I looked at it and I just said, wow, it was really neat. So what I'd like to do for the first part of the session here is to share some of the really cool results that you guys had, so that you can see how creative each of how creative each other is, each other are. You know what I mean? Uh, so I'm planning to do that for the first little while, and then we'll talk about what the homework is for tonight. Let me start by sharing this. Let's see, which screen should I share? Hang on a second here. Let me start off with this one. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to show you here was not an assignment from today, but it was actually the assignment from last time we met. Remember the traffic light assignment, right? So one of the assignments that I got was this one. So you can see here, if I zoom in on the traffic light, you can see that they've done exactly what I've wanted. Now they hung the traffic light from a pole up above, but they've got the shades, they've got all the different colors, and they've got two of them. But what I think is really cool is this person, and by the way, Giovanni, I hope you don't mind if I mention you by name as being the person. So what Giovanni did here was, in addition to making a traffic light, he decided that he would make a little car too. And in fact, if you look inside the car, you'll see that there's a space inside the car, and here's the little driver and sunglasses and everything. So just wow, it's just so good job, Giovanni. This is really amazing. I love this. Um, yeah, great job there. So now let's look at some of the ones that were submitted as a result of today's assignment. So here's one. And again, this one is from Giovanni. You can see that I think Giovanni has discovered his calling in life here. This is something that he is amazingly good at. Not only do we have this big robot fighting this monster, right? Maybe this is a monster that I don't recognize. It doesn't look like Godzilla, but whatever it is really cool. So we got this big giant robot that's fighting the monster, and we've got a bunch of tanks and things down below. You can see all that, and we got all the buildings. But the thing that just really is super impressed me is if you look inside the robot here, you see that we've got a person inside the robot who is controlling the robot. So, man, did I ever say wow when I saw this. So Giovanni, I hope that you didn't spend too much time making this. I mean, it must have taken you hours and hours to do this. And I'm curious, can you unmute yourself and tell us how long did it take you to make this thing?
Well, I took many breaks. Since I took many breaks, it was like a day or two.
Wow.
But I had
I
a lot of
hope.
fun with it.
Okay, well, yeah, you obviously had a lot of fun with it. That's amazing. I hope that you didn't neglect your other classes, spending all your time on this. But this is really a masterpiece, Giovanni. I'm just blown away by how impressed that is. So now the rest of you guys, I don't want you to feel bad if your creations are not as impressive as Giovanni's here, because I was not expecting this level of sophistication. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at some of the things that the rest of you guys did here. So here is one. Let's see. Oops. Okay, never mind that one. Okay. Looks like we got a couple. Okay. What? Something's going funny with some. It looks like. See what I've done. You can see I opened up a whole lot of tabs here, and apparently I've got too many tabs open at the same time. I didn't realize before there was a limit on how many tabs you can have open. Let me try something, see if I can refresh these guys. No, it's not going to work. Okay. All right, here's one that'll work. I'm going to have to come back and get these later. So yeah, apparently I had too many tabs open at the same time. All right, let's try this one. Okay, so what we have here is a little box. It's got some very neat shapes on the top of the box. And if I click on this, I'm curious. Yep, sure enough, you look inside, and so there is something inside the box there. And if we look from the bottom, you can see that the lid there is hollow. And so yeah, so this was an excellent job here. Definitely give full credit for this. I really like what you've done. So great job there. Here is one where we've got a Lego man holding a Lego brick in his hand. And so this was really excellent. And if you look on the back here, you can see, if I click on that and center that, you can see that we've got his legs here are hollow, got the holes in the back. So yeah, this is really an outstanding job. And if we were to zoom in on the Lego brick here, you can see this is not the same Lego brick that I installed. These little cylinders that you see, the little cylinders there, this is new. So whose was this? Was this Joe? Was this yours? I can't remember. I think, can you unmute yourself for a sec, Joe? I think this was yours. If not, if I'm wrong here, whose was this? I should have made a note as whose they were. Anyway, this is cool. I really liked this one.
Anish said it's his.
Oh, Anish. Okay, Anish. This was really good. Well, actually, they're all good. I mean, I don't want some of you to think that it's bad because I left it out. That very nice. Okay, so let's try this one. Okay, so this one we have a bunch of characters, and you know see the name here, Among Us. That's a reference that I don't recognize, but I'm suspecting that some of you guys do. These are characters from some sort of animation type thing. So you can see here that they're grilling something. If we zoom in on this, I'm not quite sure what that is. So it's a container of some kind. I wonder if I open up the lid. Nope. Okay, it doesn't look like the lid opens up here. Okay, but over here you can see this is the grill. So they're cooking something on the grill here. Looks pretty good. Very interesting. So yeah, you guys, your creativity here just really amazes me. Okay, here's one where we've got some sort of I'm guessing it's a dog house because we've got a bowl there and we've got a bone here. So I'm guessing this is a dog house. Various little leaves and things sitting on the ground here. I really like the work that went into the leaf there. I mean, this, and I can't remember whose is this. Who wants to claim this one? Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Oh yeah, that was mine, Mr. Hendricks. And basically, I went on the different kind of variations, and one of them was a flower pot. And what I did was use the cutting cube and just took the bottom off of it and sunk it partly into the ground.
Okay, very neat. Yeah, so excellent job here. Let's see, what else have we got? Okay, so this one, we've got a house, and I'm not sure what this guy is doing. It looks like he's standing at a pinball machine. So I can't remember whose this one is. With the owner of this one, would you unmute yourself? Is this intended to be a pinball machine? Is that the idea? Or
It was kind of like an arcade machine.
arcade? Okay.
Yeah. I just
Very
thought it was
good.
kind of cool. Yeah.
So we got the guy here playing arcade games while the girl is sitting on the couch. And I don't know if she's watching TV or just resting there, but very cool. You guys, Wow, you have obviously put a lot of time and effort into these. Now this one, okay, so we've got the Jurassic Park, but it's not just any park. This is the Jurassic Water Park. I thought that was a really nice touch. So we got the dinosaurs here on the little floaties floating in the water here at the Jurassic Dinosaur Park or Jurassic Water Park. So yeah, that one definitely made me smile when I saw that. Let me see if I can get these others here working. Oh, they just do not want to work for whatever reason. I don't know. That's unfortunate. Let me see if I can maybe get them to open up here. So Max, in fact, tell you what, let me close some of these other windows because I think maybe the problem is I've got too many windows open at the same time. So is that one we saw? We saw that one. Okay. All right. So this is Max's right here. And Max, when I clicked on yours, I get an error message. So apparently you've made some changes since you shared it with me. Would you be do you have it on your computer, Max? Can you maybe share your screen with us so we can see it via your computer?
Yeah, let me just pull it up really quick.
Okay, here, I'll go ahead and give you permission to share your screen. Okay, you should have permission to share your screen right now. And I'll go ahead and stop sharing mine. Ah, okay. The stand-up desk. Yes. Okay, very cool. Max, do you actually use the stand-up desk?
Yeah, that's my desk actually.
How do you like it? I mean, your CAD creation is cool. I can't imagine standing in front of a desk for a long period of time. I would think that gets tiring.
Neither can I. So it switches between stand up and sit down, so you can change it.
Oh, okay. All right, good. All right, so I like your little coffee cup. Can you zoom in on the coffee cup, just so we can see, and then look down on the top of it. Okay, zooming in apparently isn't working. Okay, well, we'll call that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh,
Sorry, it glitched out for a second. I'm back there.
Okay. All right, so try zooming in on the coffee cup. Okay, very good. Keep zooming in. Okay, yeah, so you can look down and you can see, there it is. All right, so yeah, very good. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's see. Who else did I not show? Because there were a couple of them I wasn't able to show because I was sharing too many. Who is it that we missed that you'd like to show us your creation? Anybody want to speak up?
I guess you can show mine.
Okay, so Adam, let's
Adam.
try yours.
Yeah. Mine wasn't as good as those other ones, but
Well, that's all right. Let's take a look at it. Okay. Ah, okay. Yes, I remember. Yes. Okay, this one. All right. So we've got a drink. You can see. So Adam actually put some liquid in his. If we zoom in on it, you can see there's some liquid there, and he's got a straw, and then he's got a sandwich here. Now I'm kind of curious as what kind of sandwich this is. Let's see if we take off the bread here. Okay, I'm guessing that's a tomato. And I don't know what that is, just various types of lunch meats. And there's some
yeah.
cheese. And then that, again, I'm guessing that's lettuce. So yeah, very cool. I like that. Okay. Yeah, these are all awesome. I completely agree. Who else did I miss that we should talk about here? Anybody else that I missed?
I think you may be right in this.
Okay, I got two people talking at the same time there. So Ibrahim, you want to try yours?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, so here's Ibrahim's. So his, Now, in this case, Ibrahim, you just sent me a picture rather than the actual link. Oh, here's the
Yeah.
link.
I tried to send the link, but there wasn't a website URL option.
Yeah,
so-
that was my fault. But I noticed that you put something in the comments here, so hopefully we can get into it this way. By the way, I'm glad you put it in the comments there. That was nice. Okay, yeah, I remember looking at this one. Okay, so this, I like this one a lot. We got a cannon. If you look down the barrel, you can see, yeah, see the barrel of the cannon is in fact hollow. So we could put cannonballs inside there, and we've got some cannonballs too. This black thing has me curious here. What is this black thing?
So like I didn't do much research, but like I think you throw in the gunpowder, throw in the ball, and then you shove it down so it like gets stuck really good. So when when you ignite the gunpowder, it like gets shot off real good. It doesn't just fall out.
Yeah, that's what I suspected it might be. Yeah, a ramrod, I think is what they call it, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very, very nice. Okay. Let's see. Who else did we skip? Anybody else that I skipped that you want to? Let's see. Sophia, did we do you?
No,
Okay. Are you willing to let us see yours?
sure.
Okay. Let's see what you had here. Oh, yes. I remember this one. Yes. The beehive. Yeah. I like the beehive a lot. So you like the little bees here that she's got? And then if we zoom in, you can see that there's clearly something going on inside there. There's a whole bunch of things inside. So how about let's zoom out and let's see if we can open up the beehive. Yep, sure enough, we can open it. And now when we zoom in again, so now you can see there's a bunch of bees inside there, and they've got their little hexagonal, I don't know what they call that, the place where they store their honey. Yeah, that's very cool. And then I'm curious, if I look at this up here, let me center on that. Okay, yeah, so you can see inside the top half the beehive, and there's the lower half again. So very cool. Yeah, I mean, you guys, all of you, I am just blown away by your creativity, and you've exceeded my expectations by a long, long way on all of these creations here. You guys should be very proud of what you've done. Is there anybody else that I missed? Anybody want to speak up? Because I didn't keep track of whose was whose. Silas, did we do you? I can't remember if we did you. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So Silas also sent me a picture rather than the actual, and it was my fault because when I first set up the assignment, I clicked the wrong the box, so you couldn't submit a web link. So the only thing that you could submit was a picture. So it looks like what Silas did here was another a little candy box with some candies in it with the lid here. So let's go ahead and stop here. So bottom line, guys, I'm just really, really impressed with what you've done. So I hope that you're proud of what you've accomplished there. Those are great. Okay, now for tonight. Okay, so let's go into here and let's look at what I've put on Canvas for tonight here. Yeah, probably easiest if I just go into here. Okay. So if we go into the engineering technology page and go into modules, you're going to see that what I've done is I've outlined what we're going to do for the rest of the school semester. So if you look down at the bottom here, you'll see that I've given you a heads up so that you can start planning now for what is going to be due later. So the thing that's going to be due on Thursday is I'm going to ask you to submit a video of a Rube Goldberg machine, which I'll talk about in just a minute. You'll see that we do have one more CAD assignment, but that's not due until January the 7th. You'll see that the final exam for this class is going to be something that we call a Rube Goldberg machine, where I'm going to want you to make a Rube Goldberg machine. And that will be the final exam. And it's going to be due on January 13th, which is the last day that we meet. And then, this is just a semester-long class. So next semester, you guys will be taking something else and I won't be seeing you anymore. Oh, so sad. Okay. So your final exam is going to be to make a Rube Goldberg machine. And it's not due until almost a month from now. But I want you to start thinking about it now. And so that's why I'm going to make your homework with this due next time, is I want you to do a little bit of research. So first off, I want you to find out what in the world is a Rube Goldberg machine. And so basically that's your homework tonight, is to find out what is a Rube Goldberg machine and find an example of a really interesting Rube Goldberg machine. Now, I'm willing to bet that some of you probably already know what a Rube Goldberg machine is. Anybody want to take a stab at explaining to us what a Rube Goldberg machine is?
I would say the best definition of it is like it's very simple like task for a machine. Like it does simple stuff.
But
but it would be more complicated.
Yeah. So the end goal, the thing that it accomplishes, is a very, very simple task. But the way that they accomplish that task is really, really complicated. It's way unnecessarily complicated. They've purposely put in a whole bunch of stuff just to be fun. So, like, let's suppose that what they want to do is they want to knock something over. So instead of just having a tool that knocks it over, what they do is they have a tool that knocks something, that does something else, that raises something up, that drops something. That actually, the best way to explain a Rube Goldberg machine is to show you an example of a Rube Goldberg machine that I really like a lot. So when you go into Canvas and you click on the assignment that's due next time we meet, you will see in a minute here, you're going to see that I have included a video of a Rube Goldberg machine that I like a whole lot, just as an example. Okay, so this is just an example for you guys to see. And so what I want you guys to do is I want you to look on YouTube to find Rube Goldberg machines that you think are cool. But let me show you the one that I think is cool. This video that I'm going to show you in just a minute is actually a commercial that played on TV for a car. You guys know that one of the companies that makes cars is Honda. And Honda has a reputation for being very reliable. If you own a Honda, it probably doesn't break down very much. Okay, they really put a lot of work into making their cars reliable. And so in order to illustrate how reliable a Honda car was, they took a Honda and they took it apart. And they took all of the different pieces from a car and they made a Rube Goldberg machine out of all the pieces. And I think it's really interesting. So let me click on this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down, I'm going to make it full screen. Okay, now, before I do this, let me turn on the sound. I mean, the sounds aren't really all that informative, but let me turn on the sounds anyway. Okay, so it's going to take 2 minutes to go through all the things here. So this, I think, is an ideal example of a Rube Goldberg machine. So everybody, let's sit back and watch what happened. So this is a piece from the car, and what's going to happen is it's going to bump into another piece, and let's just see what happens.
Isn't it nice when things just work?
Okay. All right. So the end goal there was they just wanted to close the door on the car by pushing the button. But so that was a simple end goal, but the way that they accomplished it was absurdly complicated in a fun way. When I say absurd, I mean in a fun way. Okay, so that was, I think, a wonderful example of a Rube Goldberg machine. Okay, so your homework for tonight is not to make a Rube Goldberg machine. Your homework is simply to, let's see, okay, your homework is simply to look on YouTube or somewhere else, find a video of a Rube Goldberg machine that you think is cool, and then submit the URL to the video for the video so that we can see it. And so next time we meet, what I'll do is I'll show you the different Rube Goldberg machines. Okay. Now, before this semester ends, you will need to build a Rube Goldberg machine of your own, but I don't want to see that yet. We'll wait until after the Christmas break is over. But I want you to keep in mind that you are going to be required to make a Rube Goldberg machine. And because Rube Goldberg machines can be really complicated, I'm telling you about it now so that over the Christmas break, you can be thinking about it, and maybe if you're bored, maybe working on it, but I will give you time afterwards. So let's go in and let's look at the requirements of the Rube Goldberg machine that you will eventually have to make. Okay, so let's start at the back and let's work our way forward. So on January the 13th, which is the last day that we will meet, that's when I want to see a video of your Rube Goldberg machine, the one that you make. So if we click on this, okay, you'll see here are the requirements. Your overall machine must contain at least 8 different elements. And when I say element, what I mean is a step in the Rube Goldberg machine. So let's suppose you've got a big tall piece that, let's say that this calculator is one of the pieces in my Rube Goldberg machine. Okay, and so when the calculator falls over and the calculator hits the stapler and causes the stapler to staple a piece of paper, the calculator would be considered one element and the stapler would be considered another element. Okay, but what is it that makes the calculator flip over? Well, maybe what I'm going to have is I'm going to have a little electric motor with a fan on it. Okay, so something is going to cause the electric motor to turn on, and then when the fan comes on, that's what causes the calculator to fall over and hit the stapler. Well, and so the motor with the fan on it, that would be an element. Well, what is it that causes the fan to turn on? Well, something else. Okay, so each one of these steps here, this would be one element. The calculator that falls on the stapler, that would be a second element. The stapler itself that staples the paper when the calculator falls on it, that would be a third element. Each one of those is an element. So in the Rube Goldberg machine that you guys make for the final exam, I need it to have at least 8 different elements. If you want to do more than 8, be my guest, but it must have at least 8. Okay, so now since we're not meeting face to face, so you won't be able to bring your thing into school, what you'll need to do is you need to take a video of it working. Right? Okay, so that's the thing that's going to be due on January the 13th. Now let's go back in the modules again. And there is going to be an intermediate step here. If you look on January the 5th, so this will be the first time that we meet after we come back from the winter break. That's when I want to see design drawings for your Rube Goldberg machine. So if we click on that, so remember, this is the thing that is going to be due the first time we meet after the winter break. So what I want is I want a drawing telling me what your Rube Goldberg machine is going to look like. So all of the elements in there need to be drawn. And so I want the elements drawn separately together with one drawing that shows how they all fit together. Okay, and remember it has to have at least 8 elements. Okay, now when you do the drawings, okay, I prefer that you use the isometric drawing technique. And I don't really care whether it's 1-point isometric or 2-point isometric. Doesn't matter to me, but please use the isometric drawing technique. Now, you guys have proven to me that you are really, really good at using Tinkercad. So if you want to do your drawing using Tinkercad, I would certainly accept that. Personally, I'm not sure that it's worth the effort. I'm thinking that if you try to do your drawings on Tinkercad, it might take you more time than it's really worth. So I give that to you as an option if you want, but if it was me, I wouldn't use Tinkercad. I would just get out a piece of paper and I would do the drawings and I would do them using the isometric drawing technique, but I'll leave that up to you. Now, please note what I say down here at the bottom here. On January the 15th, that is not the day that I want you to have the Rube Goldberg machine completed. That's just the day that I want to see the design for what your Rube Goldberg machine is going to look like. Now, if you're bored over the winter break, and if you want to use that time to make your Rube Goldberg machine, hey, I certainly wouldn't stop you. But the actual finished product is not due until the 13th. So if you want to just wait and wait until January and make your Rube Goldberg machine in January, then that'll be fine. Okay. Now there is going to be one other CAD assignment that we need to work on also during then. I'm not going to take the time to talk about it now because I don't want to distract you. Okay. So hopefully now you see the big picture. So the end goal is that you need to make a Rube Goldberg machine. But the first step is just to go out on YouTube and look and find a Rube Goldberg machine, find a video of a Rube Goldberg machine that you think is interesting and amusing, and then just submit the link. And that's your homework that's due on Thursday. Okay. Everybody understand what the homework is? So give me a yes if you understand. Give me a no if you got any questions. Okay, I'm seeing a bunch of yeses in there. Okay, so it is now 3 o'clock. We still have 40 minutes left in this class period before the period ends. So what I would recommend is use that time to go on YouTube and type in Rube Goldberg. In fact, let me show you how it's spelled. Now, YouTube is pretty good about if you misspell stuff, then it can usually still figure out what you want. Okay, so here it is. So you can see this is how you spell Rube Goldberg. So just go to YouTube, type in Rube Goldberg, or if you want, you could type in Rube Goldberg machine. Okay, and just check out the things that you see, and find one that you think is cool, and send me the link, and bingo, you will be done. Okay, so if you think that's good, then I'm okay with go ahead and type bye into the chat box, and I will see you guys on Thursday. I'm looking forward to seeing some really cool Rube Goldberg machines from you.
Thank you.
Hey, my pleasure. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording just in case you have questions you wanted to ask.